You step into the fluorescent tunnel of the security queue. The bins clatter, the X-ray hums, and the agent scans your boarding pass with a practiced expression. Then their eyebrows lift and they say the phrase you didn't expect. You're selected for additional screening. Your heart tightens, your palms get warm, and every fellow passenger looks like they could be the person who took your seat. Stay with me. This is more common than it feels.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right now.
I'm an experienced traveler who has sat through dozens of extra screenings and walked people through them without drama. I want to give you a calm checklist so you can get through the line, keep your bags, and get to your gate without expensive surprises. First, what is the setup you can recognize right now? The usual trigger is a boarding pass with a small code or a verbal flag from the agent. Sometimes it's printed as SSSS. Sometimes the agent simply directs you aside. The environment is bright, slightly noisy, and you will probably be handed a tray with your phone and keys while an agent asks for ID. That moment feels invasive, because it is. You're being asked to slow down while everyone else flows by. How to prepare before you leave home. 1. Check your itinerary and know what to bring. Carry prescription medicines in their original labeled containers. Keep a printed copy of your itinerary and a backup of your ID inside your carry-on. If you have an unusual name spelling, an international itinerary, or a recent name change, make sure your travel documents match your booking exactly. 2. Choose clothing and carry-ons that make screening quick. Wear shoes you can slip off. Avoid thick belts or metal layers, and keep laptops and liquids near the top of a bag so they can be taken out cleanly. If you have metal implants or medical devices, bring supporting documentation from your doctor. 3. Give yourself time. For domestic flights, arrive 90 minutes before departure. For international, 2 to 3 hours. Being selected doesn't always add long delays, but it becomes a real problem when you're already sprinting to the gate. At the airport, what you will see and how to respond. When the agent tells you you're selected, pause, breathe, and follow their instructions. Usually the steps are: show your passport/ID, remove items from your pockets, place electronics and liquids in trays, walk through a scanner, and possibly submit to a hand wand, pat-down, or a quick bag search. If an agent requests a private screening, you can agree, it's allowed, and ask for a witness of the same gender if that makes you more comfortable. If your boarding pass shows SSSS, that code stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. It can appear for reasons that are random, procedural, or because of cross-border connections and watch list hits. Why the rule exists. An everyday analogy. Think of the airport security system like a neighborhood watch plus random checks. The metal detector and X-ray are like routine patrols. They stop the obvious problems. Secondary screening is a neighbor who decides to walk up the driveway and look more closely at a parked car that caught their eye, even if the car owner seems fine. The goal is to add unpredictability so that bad actors can't time their actions around a fixed routine. Random checks and targeted flags together make the system stronger. What actually triggers selection? There are a few categories: truly random sampling to keep the system unpredictable, watch list or intelligence matches, a name or appearance cue that requires verification, ticketing anomalies, odd fares, connections from high-risk airports, and technology flags, an algorithmic match on travel patterns. Airline check-in systems, government watch lists, and airline staff notes can all feed into that selection. Concrete risks and costs if you handle it poorly. Time cost. An average extra screening adds 10-30 minutes. Busy checkpoints or international secondary screening can add 45-90 minutes. If you are cutting it close, you could miss a domestic flight. The risk of missing a connection grows sharply if your buffer is under 45 minutes. Monetary cost. If you miss a domestic flight, you may pay rebooking or same-day change fees, roughly $75, $200 on average for many legacy carriers. For basic economy fares, the options are smaller or more expensive. International missed connections are costlier. Rebooking or buying a last-minute seat can be $200, $800 depending on the route and class. If an agent requires that your carry-on be gate-checked, some airlines might charge gate-checked fees on certain fares, typically $25, $50, though most will gate-check for free if the flight is full. Baggage risk. If your carry-on is taken from you to be inspected separately, there is a small risk of damage or delayed arrival for that bag. Most lost or delayed carry-ons are located and returned, but if your bag goes to checked baggage, it might arrive on a later flight. Health or legal worst case. In very rare cases where an item is illegal or a watch list match escalates, you could be detained for questioning. That outcome is uncommon. The vast majority of extra screenings are routine and end with a cleared boarding. Many useful links can be found in the description. The cheapest, safest, and most practical solution. 1. Build a time buffer into your itinerary. That single habit removes most stress. If you fly occasionally, add 30-60 minutes beyond the airline's recommended check-in time. 2. Pack to minimize search friction. Use a carry-on layout where liquids and electronics are in easy-to-reach compartments. A clear travel pouch for chargers and toiletries speeds things up. 3. Use trusted traveler programs if you qualify. Programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry reduce the chance of random extra screening in many U.S. airports. The programs cost money up front. TSA PreCheck approximately $78 for 5 years. Global Entry approximately $100 for 5 years, sometimes more with renewal fees. But they can pay for themselves if you value time and less hassle. 4. Know your rights and options. You can request a private screening, ask for a supervisor if you feel mistreated, and always request documentation if something is confiscated. If rebooking becomes necessary, ask the airline agent to waive change fees due to security delays. Some agents will, especially on higher fare tickets or when flights are easily rebooked. 1 misleading claim or upsell to watch for. Airlines and booking sites often push priority security or expedited lines as a paid add-on. Some of these offers are real. Priority lines exist for premium cabins and paid priority, but they are not the same as TSA PreCheck. Paying a one-time fee through an airline does not grant the same systemic benefits as enrollment in a trusted traveler program. Another booking site trick: cheap third-party tickets can limit your ability to rebook if you miss a flight. If you buy through a third party, rebooking may require calling them instead of the airline, adding time and sometimes extra service fees. If you are faced with an upsell at the gate that promises to skip screening, refuse it. It is either misrepresented or irrelevant to security rules. How to refuse politely. and get what you need. If an agent offers an optional paid service you don't want, say calmly, "No thanks, I'm declining that offer." If the issue is rebooking after a missed connection, ask the airline agent, "Given the security delay, will you waive the change fee or place me on the next flight on the same fare class?" If they refuse, ask to speak to a supervisor and reference the airline's contract of carriage. You are entitled to an explanation in writing. Practical scripts you can use right at the checkpoint. If an agent says you need a private screening, "I would prefer a private screening. May a witness of the same gender be present, please?" If an agent says your bag must be searched, please document what you remove and provide a copy of any item that is confiscated. If you are running late, "I have a connection that departs in X minutes. Can this be expedited?" Be polite. Agents are more likely to help a calm traveler. Final quick checklist before you go through security. ID and boarding pass easily accessible. Medicines and travel documents in carry-on. Laptop out in its own compartment. Liquids in a clear bag under 100 milliliters each. Shoes and belt easy to remove. Time buffer: 90 minutes domestic, 2 to 3 hours international. If this helped you, please like and subscribe for more clear, calm travel tips. Hit the bell if you want checklists and templates for the most common airport problems. Thanks for watching, and travel safe.